Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm David Streggy, and here I have another review for you. It's probably because, in a sense, it kind of goes with the review I did before this. But a little over half a year ago, I put some money towards a project on, I believe it was Indiegogo, and it was for a campaign called Sargad from a filmmaker in Sweden, and it was written by Sarah Gierksky. And forgive me if I have said her name wrong or said your name wrong, Sarah. But what's interesting is that your name is all over this, even though it's directed by Andres Ramos. Um, and the production companies behind this are Bloody Fierce Productions and Cutright Productions, which means that Xander Turian is involved, and he is. As it turns out, this film is about a young girl named Elena and her family, her mother and her sister, to be exact. They evidently have come home to a cabin that they would use from time to time, and when they were younger, I believe. And their father had just recently died, and the story that we're told is that, and the story that she knows, that Elena and her sister know, Lily, to be precise, is that her father has died in a car crash. So what they decide is that they would take her father's ashes out to the woods and spread his ashes in his memory. But as it turns out, there's a woman who used to take care of them. Who used to be like a second mother to Elena and Lily, who goes by the name of Merritt. And she is harboring a terrible secret about some family members of Elena's and Lily's that evidently was in a dark period of her time while she was a druggie, evidently. And what happens is three brothers who ended up ultimately being sired by Elena's father have come to destroy part of, to basically kill off the part of the family that evidently they, or at least hurt the family. Probably a little bit of both, because they had lives that they had never had, and also evidently their father had to go to them for some money and couldn't pay up or something like that, or vice versa. And there's another character who Xander Turian plays. He plays Oliver. Evidently, he used to play with arm wrestle with Elena when she was younger, and somehow Oliver ended up running into Elena while she was walking home from Merritt's after Merritt had acted really strange and told her never to come back again. So ultimately, the characters of Marcus, John, and Alexander end up crossing paths with Elena, Lily, and their mother while they are trying to spread the ashes of her father, and end up stabbing Alina and leaving her for dead, while taking Alina's mother and her younger sister off to God knows where. And ultimately, this film ends up being about the revenge that Alina enacts upon the family members that have basically killed off her family. And when Oliver gets involved and bad things happen, is what kind of turns the turning point. And ultimately, this is a fight for survival and a fit of wills. And there is definitely some gore. There's definitely some level of violence in this film, but it is a slow rise to violence. And there are parts of this film that kind of remind me of I Spit on Your Grave, in a sense, because you have this group of men who enact some violence against a young lady, and she basically comes and hunts, takes household knives and whatever she can find, and hunts these guys down, you know. And I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I put money towards it, because it was a really good plot line. I mean, it had similarities to some films, but you know what? I believe that it is an original idea, thought up by Sarah, and I think it works well with the people that were involved with the film. I mean, all the characters acted pretty good, and I could understand whoever did the English for the subtitles got the English spot on. There was nothing that looked like it could have been like offhand English, like half English, like some languages sometimes tend to do, where it sounds like they're unintelligent. So I commend them for having a very good subtitled film. And what's interesting is they had English music involved in the soundtrack. So I thought that was somewhat entertaining. But in any case, this is a good film to watch for on the rise. Hopefully it finds... what surprised me is that at first I thought I had put money towards a short film. When this ended up being a long, lengthy feature, that kind of surprised me. So now that I've finally seen it, I'm glad that I have, and I'm glad that I can share my thoughts about this film to other people, and hopefully that other people will find a copy of this film, or find it to watch and enjoy it for their own selves. So thank you for listening to me. This has been Inside Movies Galore. Comment down below if you have seen this film, or if you've liked this film, or if you want to see it. I'm sure I can point you in the right direction. In any case, have a good evening or morning wherever you are.